Hey guys, it's Bethany with ABCuteCreations here with another tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make some awesome bookmarks. They make perfect gifts either for your children or as a teacher's gift for end of year, and they're super simple to make. And I will show you how. I did make a few mistakes as I went through, and I'll show you so you can learn from them and do better on your project. I'll show you where I got all of the supplies and what you'll need. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon to stay up to date on all of my current and future projects. Let me know in the comments section down below what you think and which one is your favorite. Let's get started. Here are the supplies that you will need for this project. Now we're going to be using flowers for our designs today, so I purchased some dried flowers off of Amazon. I also ordered this green pack, which I think will be nice and handy for some things in the background. You can add gold flakes like we did to this one. We kind of placed some extra gold flakes, and this one has to be finished off. We need to add the back to it, but this is kind of that effect. And then these are actually ones that I pulled from my nail collection because I used dried flowers to do my nails. But they're a little bit smaller and they might work better with the forms. And these are the forms that I got off of Amazon. I will link to that as well. It came with tassels and then some different size bookmarks, so you can do longer ones or shorter ones. You will of course need your epoxy resin. I do a 2-part process that takes about 12 hours to cure. In order to work with that, you do want to have some gloves and some PPE. Optional are all of the other things that you want to add to it. I'm going to do some with just alcohol inks and not have the flowers in them. And then I'm going to add some glitter to this one this time instead of the gold flakes like we added to the background on these. I'm going to try something a little different. You can do some glitter. So I've got some different holographic glitters, and mix that in with your resin before you pour. If you want to have it solid, if you don't want to have clear resin and you want to have some color to it, then you can do mica powders, and you can add that in with your resin when you mix it in. Now the thing to remember is if you use the powders and mix it in to make a solid resin, you'd want to do that in layers if you're adding the flowers. Otherwise it would just block out your flowers and you wouldn't be able to see them at all. And then we'll add the tassels that came with our kit at the very end. I'm also going to be doing this over a silicone mat in case any spills, and then you have that protected. It'll just peel off because it won't adhere to the silicone. And then I recommend some little tiny scissors. You can find some cuticle scissors or some, I think these were maybe for eyebrows, for trimming eyebrows, at least that's what I've used them for in the past. And then you'll want some nice little tweezers to place your flowers. This is optional. It's kind of thicker and doesn't always soak up very well, but I found that it's nicer for placing in the mold, so I do like a good pipette. And then I have my cups and my popsicle stick for stirring, and of course I have my rubbing alcohol, my hand sanitizer for getting any excess off my fingers. Again, you should be wearing some gloves and some PPE, but once in a while you have to tweak things or touch things and you get a little bit of resin on your fingers, and rubbing alcohol or hand sanitizer will take that right off. So that is everything you need for this project. Okay, now, do you want it like we did last time where we put the flowers in upside down and then we have to fill in the back? Or do you want to try to make the back the front and then we fill that in kind of like what I did?
I don't care.
What's your preference? You pick, because that's going to determine how we lay the flowers in. Whether we lay them face up or backwards.
Right, so if we put them in like this, then the back up, then when we turn it around, that'll be the...
Yeah.
Because I want this to be the front.
You want that to be the front? Because on this one, we did the bottom as the front. It went in like this. So I put the flowers in upside down.
So then that was the front?
Yep, so this is the front.
So the back would have been the front then?
on mine. Or the back, like the bottom.
Because I want it to be like this on the front.
Right, and we can do that. You just have to determine which side you want to be the front.
I don't care. You can pick.
So for this part, I'm really just putting down a thin layer of epoxy. I don't want it too thick because we will have to add a back coating anyway, and you really don't want a bookmark that is too thick. And again, I'm using the stuff that takes about 12 hours to cure, so you have time to play with it. The other bookmarks that I did with my mom, they ended up being with the fast cure stuff, and it gets hot and it starts to harden up and get gunky after not very much time, so we didn't have time to sit and play with our flowers. I like a little more time to play with them. If you're just doing one of the alcohol ink ones though, the faster curing stuff might be just fine. I like to do a few of these at a time though. And I really want to make sure I take the time to place the flowers right. So that's why we kind of placed our flowers, figured out where we wanted them to go first. And now we're working on getting the resin down. Almost ready for the flowers on this one. So now, one thing I forgot to mention is you will need a lighter to torch the bubbles first. You don't want to hold it there too long, you just want to get some of those bubbles to pop from the surface. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to start to place these. So Kayla, you want to come watch and make sure I do this right?
Yeah.
So now there's a couple of ways that you can lay these down. You can either do them all upside down so that the front is actually the back and it'll be nice and smooth on that side. I am going to lay them down this way because we will have to add that second clear coat anyway. And it's a really good way to do it if you want to customize. You want to get, either way you want to get your epoxy laid down first, because then you won't have bubbles underneath. So that is key for this project. I'm going to lay this one in the center first.
Good call.
I thought so too, dear. Okay, and then get that guy in there. I'll do this one next. Making sure we're laying it down the correct way though.
Yeah.
There we go. Then I'll be able to play with them and move them. Okay, so they're all in. Now it's just a matter of covering the backs of these and kind of pushing them down so that the resin comes over it. You might want to kind of scoop some on there. Do you like my bookmark, dear?
Yes, I do.
I'll make some more for you. So I like to kind of just get some on the back of my popsicle stick so I can move it around. Just like so. Move this guy down a little bit.
I think that's good.
I think so too, dear. And again, it's just a matter of preference and placing just the way you want it. And I didn't think of this beforehand, but with this one, because our flowers are facing the front, we may have been better doing the glitter first. So it would be in the background of the flowers. We'll just have to be careful with our placement of it. All right, so Kayla, do you want to dump on some of the glitter? Why don't you come around and you can glitter yours, okay? Here,
How do I do it though?
So you're just going to open up this lid.
Oh, kind of like so,
and I would just kind of drop it wherever you want it.
Oh, okay.
You just
Is it
want
okay if
you
it
want
lays
to.
in flowers?
It's okay.
Okay.
We can try to move it too after the fact with our popsicle stick. Yeah, I like that.
I mean, since this isn't that bad, then it's fine if it's covering the flowers.
Okay, so you don't want me to move it off the flowers?
Yeah, it's actually fine.
Okay, so I think with mine, I'm going to try to have it more in the background.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's still going to kind of flood into it, but that's okay.
Well, maybe we could try to move these a little bit because it's like all crowding around that flower.
Yeah, so we can try that. We're just kind of experimenting. So I think we'll just try to move them off the flower a little bit and see how that goes. You like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So it'll self-level. We'll still get some more going, but then that might help kind of even it out a little bit so that we can see our flower.
Yeah.
There. I like that. I think that's pretty. Good job.
Thank you.
Move some down there. Okay. So now I'm going to pour the next one. I think that one is all set for now.
Yeah.
Are you good with that? Okay.
Like, can we put the thing on this?
What thing? Wait on that. Honey, we're in the middle of recording right now. Oh, wait. I need that one, though, because we're going to show how you do the back of it.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to fill in the back of this one, and I'll show you that, but first I want to get this one going. So I think I'm going to do a direct pour for this one, but I want to get the pipette works really nice for right around the bookmark hole, or for the tassel, I mean. And then I think I'm going to just switch to a direct pour. Now obviously this one's going to need less resin and less filler space, which is just fine. Okay. Again, we don't need much. We don't need to fill the entire tray. We're not trying to make it super thick. Our goal here is just to get that bottom layer coated and submerge our flowers or whatever you're going to use for your decoration. I'm going to let that pipette fill up again. Okay, going to quickly torch. Okay, and now it's ready for placement. So I'm going to start with this center one. I just thought that these veins were so pretty, and I feel like it's going to look really cool on the back. Actually, I'm going to add my glitter first. Ha! I almost did the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to just add a little bit of glitter first.
Wait, I could have added my glitter first.
We're just trial and error here, babe.
Oh.
We are just trying things out and being little artists. We're being creative.
Yep.
Okay. I think I like the way that looks.
Yeah.
This is such cool glitter. I got this as a gift for Christmas and have used it on cups. I've used it on several different crafts.
We need to show them the flowers.
Yes,
how pretty it is.
I know. This is just so cool. It's got like these, it almost looks like veins, but it's just these
and it's all the
little
vines.
spines. Yeah, we're just calling them vines. But I really, really love the way that looks.
Yeah, it's cool.
So I'm going to set that on in there.
And I didn't want her to cut off the vines. That way we cut off a little bit of the flower instead.
Yep, we had to trim it down, and that's okay. You're going to run into that sometimes. And you just work with what you got. I like the Bob Ross approach to life. You just make it into a happy little tree.
Yep. Just 1 second.
Okay, so I'm liking the placement. Again, we're going to play with this after the fact. So we'll just get these in. I'm going to move them around with my popsicle stick. I'm sure some of the glitter is going to come over it, and that's okay. If I have to try to wiggle some aside, so be it. Yeah, once they get submerged, it's kind of just flowing over it. So I guess that didn't pan out so well, but that's okay. I'm going to try... Okay, so we had a little bit of overflow there. I'll try to move some of that away. I'm not mad at it. I feel like it's okay and it works for it. I kind of like the glitter on top of some of the greens too, though.
I like that. It's pretty.
I think so too, dear.
Can I put this right there?
Hang on.
Okay.
Yeah, overall I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna scooch this guy up a little, I think. Kind of get these moved around a little more. Actually, no, I wanted that up there, didn't I? That was the original design. See, then having to go back and remember is part of it too. Yeah, I think that's really pretty. Okay. All right. So I like that. I'm gonna move this one aside. This is, like I said, another step for after you seal your back. Now comes the alcohol inks. So I'm gonna scooch this guy off. I'm gonna maybe torch it one more time really quickly. Let's get those bubbles. Okay. All right, now comes the alcohol inks. So this one is going to take the most resin because it's the biggest bookmark, so obviously. Okay, so we're gonna go like this, and my daughter is going to step in after I get this poured, and she's gonna help me with her alcohol inks. So Kayla, why don't you come around this way?
Okay.
I'm gonna torch it first. Dripping. Okay. You want to make sure you really have it around this tassel hole, because if you miss out on that, obviously then your tassel may not hang properly from it. Now I'm going to torch it, and then I'm going to let my daughter step in, and we're going to do some fun little alcohol inks. I don't know if you could see that, but those bubbles really burst once I hit it with the heat. It's kind of cool. Okay. All right, Kayla, I've got all your colors laid out that you had chosen. You've said pinks, blues, and purples. So you get to pick what you want, and what we're going to do with this is I'm going to have her drop it in, and she's going to randomly disperse the colors, and then I'm going to take a toothpick and we're just going to kind of run it through to spread the color.
Can I do that too?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead and drop your colors.
Can I do all of them?
You can do as many or as little as you like. This is your project.
Okay.
And remember, a little goes a long way, so start with just a drop. And again, once we use the toothpick, it'll really kind of spread it out and make a cool design.
That was pretty.
Yeah, there are some cool colors. You just want to make sure you match up the right cap and always put it right back on there. Wait till you get to the pink one.
Yeah.
That is a bright pink. See, that's our navy blue.
Not the pink.
Now the pink.
The awesomeness.
Is that one your favorite?
Yeah. See?
Okay.
That's gonna stand out.
It will. All right, so now what we get to do is you can kind of take this and kind of just run it through slowly and try to mix all the colors. You're not going to mix it, you're just going to kind of move them around a little bit. Look at that, it looks like little hearts. Yeah, you can do swirls, whatever design you want. This is your creation. Yeah, I'm digging that. So you keep working on that, and then when you think it's done, when you like the way that it looks, then you're just going to stop.
I'm like the new improved Bob Ross.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you blend them too much, you're going to take away some of the detail.
I like that.
You like that? You're good? All right. So now I'm just going to set this aside and go like that. All right. So we're going to let those 3 cure. Now I have to touch up the back of this one because when you do these, it ends up a little concave. And you have this area on the back that has to be dealt with. So I'm going to just keep this flat. Same concept. We're just going to fill it. And again, I like the pipette for this. I kind of feel like it just does a nice job. And then you're just going to get down and you just want to fill up to the edges. And that's all. And again, it'll self-level. There, so you want to come up to the edge without spilling over the edge. That's the key. Okay, now those all have to cure. And the cool thing about this is had I mixed in some glitter, I could have done like some really fine gold glitter and mixed it in with the resin and then put it on the back of this. And then it would fill it in so that the back would be the front. And then you'd just have a glitter background. So that's another option. She wanted to keep hers fully clear and kind of wanted that see-through effect. So that's what we're doing for this one. But yeah, so lots of options. And now we're just gonna go ahead. She wanted to use up some of the excess resin that we have going here. Instead of doing another bookmark, we're gonna do a little bit of jewelry fun here. All right, so dear, what would you like to do?
Can we do
what? You point.
these 2, or do we not have enough?
We'll see. All right, do you have a preference? Do you want to mix in color or glitter into this, or we're just going for it? You want to do like the resin or the alcohol ink?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm going to do the pinks.
Yep, just set it on the silicone mat. There you go. All right, guys, we're going to let these cure and we will come back when they are. Okay, guys, so this has sat for a few days now because I couldn't get to it. My table is definitely not level, and you can see how thin it is here versus here. So my solution for this right now is just going to be, because it's tilting this way and it all wants to flow this way, I'm going to flip it around. It did cure like this, and I'm going to put it like this for the backing, so while I fill it, it'll kind of want to go this way. I pulled this one out already. You can see that it actually, I think, turned out really cool. It's kind of hard to see. It's like a stained glass effect, but I really think that's pretty. So again, you can see it's a little concave. So we want to fill in this back and kind of smooth that out. And then our bookmark will be ready in just a few days. So I'm going to go ahead and get these other ones out of the mold. I have not done that yet. Another thing I noticed, so I'm going to try the same method and make some more bookmarks. Hopefully I'll have them ready for the end of the video, but you just won't see the process. And so again, you can see thicker here, thinner here. So I'm going to put the thinner side. Otherwise, really pretty. Love the way these turned out. And you can see the flowers have actually shifted. They kind of moved around as it floated and settled. So something to definitely keep in mind. And this is the back which I think still looks really cool. I love the see-through effect and not filling it in and making it solid. So again, I'm going to put the fatter side here, thinner side here. It'll kind of wait and figure it out. This one also looks like it had shifted. I'm not mad at it. I mean, I'm going to just use these for myself and my daughter. We've just been playing around with it, but I might make a few more. And I'm going to, for sure, level out the table first. So that, again, would be my biggest tip. Again, a little bit thinner and then a little bit thicker. So, but look at that flower. I just love that pink one and all the detail that we got. And even though that one kind of floated up there, again, it's really cute. I still like it. So I think that one's really pretty. I think that really turned out. Even the back, you can see all of the little vines, veins, whatever. So super cool. I'm very excited to use this one. I'm not gonna lie, guys. All right, so I'm gonna put the fat end this way, let it float this way. Again, I'm gonna level out my table and try again. These are the necklaces she wanted to do, so I'm just gonna add the back. Now this one was actually, the first half was done. So this is what it looks like now. It looks pretty good. I might, you can see where there's a little bit of a bump there, so I might file down some of the edges, but otherwise this one's done and ready to go. I just have to add that tassel onto the end. So I think this one was the one my daughter picked out first. So this is the first one we did for her, and she just loves it. So very cool thing to make, guys. Really super fun gift. I went ahead, I already mixed some epoxy, so I am just going to go ahead and just add it to the back and then torch it. So let's see. I'm not going to use a pipette this time. I'm just going to kind of fill around with this. And again, we don't want it overflowing because I did take it out of the mold, which I would recommend just so it doesn't get those lips on it. But then you have to make sure that you fill the epoxy up to the edges without spilling over. So that's pretty important. And this will all settle out, same as before. And I mixed less epoxy this time just because not as much is needed for this step. Now, before you add this backing, like this would be the time to add your initials if you have a Cricut machine. For these, I'm just keeping them plain. I didn't want to add the initials on here, but like mine that has initials, this would be the step. You would do it right before this step, and you would cut them out with a Cricut and add them in here. Okay, so you want to take your time going right up to the edge. I think that one looks pretty good. So I'm going to move on to my next one and just speed this up. Okay, so I just added some all to the backs of this, and now I'm going to give it a little bit of a flame to get those bubbles. You can see them all popping, very cool. Okay. Excellent. So we're going to let that go ahead and cure for a few days again, and we will come back. So I've given these a day to cure, and they're looking pretty awesome. I mean, they actually turned out pretty even, so that worked out. I'm really excited about that. Now it is time to add the tassels, and I found with these I kind of had to twist them a little bit, and then I just place it through the front. Again, these are just what came with the kit, but I simply do that and then loop these through like so. And voila, you have your bookmark. I really think that these make a great gift. Like I said, you can customize them and put some initials on. Get creative with it. It's really cute. Perfect gift end of year for teachers coming up. I think it's fantastic. I am so in love with this one. Even if that little flower did wander, I'm going to use this all the time. So, and again, this is the longer one that really was uneven, and you can see how much better it looks. Again, if I had to do this again and it wasn't for myself or my daughter, I would absolutely make sure that my table is level first. That is my number one tip. We wouldn't have the shifting of the flowers here or here, and it would be fine. This one I did at a different location. I had tested it out. But again, that one ended up nice and even as well, so we're good. And these were the little charms, so I'll get some string for it. So my daughter has some necklaces for the extra epoxy that we had. Again, these are the tassels that came with. You can also buy extra tassels if you run out of the ones from your kit. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.